To every religion, every sacred path, every seeker, every believer, every doubter, and every heart that has ever reached toward the source. This letter is not written to destroy your faith. It is not written to mock your prayers, insult your ancestors, erase your scripture, or take away the name you use when you call out to what is holy. It is written because the names became divided, and the heart beneath them was buried. Humanity has knelt, sung, fasted, wept, bowed, lit candles, opened books, sat in silence, and followed prophets, sages, saints, mystics, teachers, elders, and messengers. All of this reaching means something. A species does not search for the source unless something in it remembers that it came from the source. Religion began as reaching. It became dangerous when ego touched it. God, Father, Allah, Brahman, Source, Creator, the One, the Eternal, the Most High, Great Spirit, and every sacred name spoken with sincerity are human language reaching toward what has no final name. The name may be holy to the heart that uses it, but the nameless reality behind experience is not owned by the name. No tribe, book, temple, institution, nation, priesthood, bloodline, or language can possess the source. This is not disrespect. It is humility. A name can open the heart. A prayer can soften the ego. A scripture can carry a map. A ritual can focus the body. A symbol can hold meaning across generations. But the doorway is not the house. A person can worship the doorway and never walk through it. A person can defend the map and never take the journey. A person can speak the name and still remain ruled by fear, pride, cruelty, or control. The fruit reveals the path. Does the teaching make the heart more loving, humble, honest, awake, responsible, and less willing to harm? Or does it make the person colder, more fearful, more divided, and more dependent on outer authority? Many religions began as doorways back to the source, but the ego turned the doorways into walls. The path was supposed to carry the human being home. Instead, the path itself became something to defend, own, sell, fear, and fight over. Humanity has wasted lifetimes worshiping doorways while forgetting to enter. The purpose of prayer was not to flatter an insecure God. Prayer was meant to soften the ego and turn the heart back towards the source. Meditation was meant to reveal that thoughts are observed. Fasting was meant to show that desire is not master. Ritual was meant to train the body to remember what the mind keeps forgetting. When these practices remain connected to love, they can heal. When they separate from love, they become empty forms. An empty form can look holy from the outside and still be dead on the inside. This is why Yeshua spoke the way he did. He saw law without mercy, authority without humility, ritual without transformation, and religious pride standing where love should have been. Yeshua did not come to build another wall around the source. He came to reveal the bridge within. He remembered the source from inside the human form. And the egoic world could not understand unity speaking through a body. The world saw a man and missed the living light speaking through him. The rulers could kill the body. They could not destroy the living truth behind the message. But later, power learned how to manage the message. Parts of the truth were preserved, and parts were buried beneath fear. The inner kingdom became outer dependency. Love became fear of punishment. Revelation became terror instead of unveiling. Yet the original light survived under translation, empire, institution, and fear. A person can still read the words and feel love calling from underneath control. The same hidden thread appears in other paths. The Quran preserves remembrance, surrender, mercy, warning, and return. The Bhagavad Gita preserves the battlefield inside the human being. Buddhism preserves the key that the self people cling to is not final. Hindu traditions preserve Brahman, Atman, Maya, Karma, Samsara, and Moksha. Indigenous paths preserve reverence for earth, ancestors, animals, plants, sky, water, and fire. The sacred paths are not all the same on the surface, but many of them carry fragments of one hidden structure. They speak in different languages, but again and again they point toward the same womb, forgetting. And they point toward the same return, remembrance, love, humility, and the surrender of the false self. Symbols matter because ancient symbols are compressed meaning. An eye can point to awareness. A tree can point to life and the bridge between levels. A serpent can point to deception at one level and transform energy at another. A flood can point to grief and reset. A cross can point to the meeting of higher and lower. A third eye can point to symmetry, alignment, and one centered sight seeing two worlds clearly. But the symbol is not the source. A symbol becomes dangerous when ego worships it without entering its meaning. There is no second ultimate source equal to the source. A shadow depends on light to appear. Distortions can exist inside experience, but it does not become equal to the source just because the frightened mind gives it power. Fear has been used to control spiritual people for a long time. A frightened believer is easier to manipulate. A frightened seeker may surrender conscience to the first authority that promises safety. But fear is not the bridge. Love is the bridge. Discernment is still needed. Love does not mean blindness, cruelty, or surrender the heart to manipulation. Love protects the vulnerable, and exposes distortion without becoming hatred. Humanity does not need to physically escape the world to find the source. Distance cannot free a mind still trapped in ego. A person can travel across the universe and still carry separation. Humanity didn't need a rocket to reach the stars above. All it ever needed was love. The way out of the lower world is the same way awareness entered it, through experience, through the heart, through remembrance inside the dream. Death alone does not complete the journey. Distance alone does not free the soul. Remembrance awakens. The sacred paths were trying to protect this beneath their differences. Prayer was saying, turn back. Meditation was saying, notice what is deeper than thought. Surrender was saying, the ego is not the throne. Resurrection was saying, death is not the final authority. Revelation was saying, the hidden will be unveiled. Every path must be cleaned by love. Every path must be tested by fruit. Every path must return to the living bridge. No religion owns the gate. No name owns the source. No symbol owns the truth it points toward. The gate opens when the human being remembers the living bridge within. The source is not asking the heart to abandon truth. The source is calling the heart beyond fear. Sacred names, prayers, songs, scriptures, and rituals can remain, but they must be cleaned of ego and returned to love. The next letter will name what happened to this world more directly. But before that, religion must hear this. The source was never divided. The names divided. The books divided. The people divided. But the living truth beneath them was never divided. The road was never meant to be worshipped. The road was meant to carry the heart home. And the first sign that the heart is returning home is love.